Today presents Strike Battleship Argent, Book 1 in the Starships at War series by Shane Lachlan Black. Copyright 2016.
Hey, science fiction and fantasy fans, Shane Lachlan Black here, reminding you that all of my serialized fiction and all of my serialized audiobooks are available on my site, brought to you ad-free by the Action Faction. We're also supporting literacy. Every time we hit a milestone, we send another book to a school. Plus, you can get your own call sign and get producer credit in videos just like this one when you sponsor us. All ahead, battle speed.
Corporal? Hunter's expression made it clear she wasn't in much of a mood for litigation. Ma'am, I'm sorry, but I have my orders. Corporal, can you identify my rank insignia? The Fury skipper borrowed Lieutenant Sutherland's tablet device and started looking up the emergency regulations. Yes, ma'am. And what rank is that, Marine? You wear the insignia of a Skywatch commander, ma'am. And the opposite device. The corporal hesitated. Tom gave him 2 extra moments and then cut in. That's the badge of a task force commander, Corporal. The Marine swallowed, trying to emphasize his regulation-perfect attention posture. Somewhere in his adrenaline-hazy memory, he recalled the qualifications for that particularly rare designation. The Star-Spangled Gold insignia would be hard to find on a command officer 2 ranks higher. Nevertheless, here she was. Judging by the numerous tightly packed pips, there were at least 9 ships, including 2 ships of the line under her flag. The difference in firepower between a Marine sentry armed with a blaster rifle and this slender young woman was roughly the difference between an underfed earthworm and an angry Bengal tiger. How many rank insignia is that, Marine? Hunter asked, still scrolling through the regulations on her tablet. 3, ma'am. Hunter stepped forward until she was nose to chin with the taller Marine. That's right. That means I'm so close to being a captain I can smell that 4th insignia. Now you either open that lab and let my people in there, or I'll snap you back so hard your hair will change color. Do you read me, Marine? Her voice had that tone particular to officers with experience leading thousands of men and women in battle. The sentry Marine correctly recognized his authority, whatever its justification, was not going to successfully compare. He could only imagine the cosmic levels of hell someone roughly 600 ranks higher could rain down on his life. The images of 10-foot-tall admirals and courts-martial crawled out of his blackest fears before he finally decided to favor discretion over valor. It was one thing to bravely charge the enemy. It was another to choose to die on a hill targeted by an entire artillery division with nothing but a time card punched by a junior lieutenant for protection. Jace watched impatiently as her signals specialists unpacked their gear in the records lab. Commander Huggins stood nearby. Last thing I need today is a lengthy debate with some rifle-lugging grunt over who is allowed where, Hunter muttered. After this is over, I'll tow this entire station back to Core 10 and drop it in a box. When we find out who abandoned their post out here, I think you'll have a hide to go with that tow job, Huggins replied. Hunter to Fury, report all contacts. Fury, Mallory, and CIC, ma'am. No contacts except King 1.
There are those who believe the sudden hostilities between the Core Alliance and the Sarnstar Empire were unexpected. Those who have engaged Imperial forces at Rho Theta, Lunar 6-1, and now El Rey know better. The strike point, Siege Island. The Alliance fleet is well aware an attack on populated planets could happen with as little as 90 seconds advance warning. Dragonkind's most lethal battleship and most ruthless warlord, known as He Who Slew 9 with a Single Blade, are tasked with a simple mission: hunt down and destroy mankind's warriors. The leaders of the Core Alliance have pushed their enemies too far. Payback is coming, and it will fall from the skies on wings, stained with human blood. Presenting the most popular and successful series in Shane Lachlan Black's entire science fiction catalog. Destroy All Starships includes 7 ambitious novellas featuring memorable new heroes, menacing alien enemies, and an action-packed maximum firepower story cycle that sets the standard for the entire Starship's universe. The order is given. This time it ends in victory or annihilation.
Bearings unchanged. Very well. We're in the records lab. We should have some answers shortly. Stand by. Affirmative, Skipper. Standing by. Hunter to Echo. Hi, Jace. Isn't this station the coolest? Tom smiled. Commander Hunter's self-built team of miniature robots all had the personalities of children between the ages of about 4 and 7. Despite the fact none of them were larger than a gallon bottle of milk, as a group they were a surprisingly effective outfit, capable of acting on their own up to a point. Echo was their combination early warning alarm and medical unit. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Are Rebel and Butterfly with you? Uh-huh. Do you want to talk to them? Not right now. Keep me advised. If you get any weird readings, you make sure to tell Rebel and Butterfly first and then tell me, okay? Okay, Jace. See ya. Sutherland and the other officers were well into their work by now. Do you always bring your robots with you on landing missions, ma'am? Amy asked. She certainly does, Lieutenant. Tom was examining a large map of Gitairn space behind the records consoles. I'll never get over fleet officers who ask why you travel with a group of remote-controlled toy cars and aircraft, he said. Always a source of entertainment when we drop in at Scary's. I've been dealing with raised eyebrows since cybernetics school, Hunter replied. High-ranking officers have a bad habit of not checking the records before they start barking at us. I learned my lesson in a hurry, Tom said. After I found out both Rebel and Wave had been nominated for Valor Awards, and that Echo has an Indian Forks campaign ribbon, I've been earning a fortune making odds on the next admiral to step in it. Ma'am? The Task Force Perseus officers gathered around Sutherland's console. She had called up the historical records gathered by the many sensors and scanners Station 19 had been operating continuously for many weeks. There, Tom said, pointing at a spike in the electromagnetic signatures at System's edge. Those are the same readings we got from Ajax. And right here are the readings that confirm it, Jace added. Those anomalous data sets are following a lateral line. Station 19 has been tracking them for over a month. There aren't 16 ships out there. There's more like 40 ships, and some of those power plants are our designs. Why would Skywatch ships be cloaked on the far edge of Gitairn? We don't have any bases or space lanes this far out, Tom said. If I didn't know better, I'd say that's a... Hunter keyed her comlink. Fury, this is Hunter. Bring fleet up on the Z-Pack and patch it to my personal designator. Affirmative, Commander, you're on. Hunter to fleet. Set emergency condition 3. Stand by battle stations. As the acknowledgements poured in, Hunter switched channels. Mallory, replot our course to rendezvous with Argent and prepare for departure. What's on your mind, Skipper? That's an interdiction formation, and they're not prepping a defense. That fleet is massing for an attack on someone or something, and I'm betting it's populated core worlds. Skywatch would have to muster our entire strength on this side of Boomtown to match that kind of firepower. How could they keep this off everyone's radar this long? Tom asked. Unknown, but I can guarantee you we're going to pull the really loud fire alarm in the hall in about 20 minutes. Chapter 27. Echo rolled about in the station cafeteria and then down the long corridor. All her short-range scanners and sensors were on maximum gain, looking for anything unusual on the virtually abandoned station. There was a brief moment of excitement when she came across a maintenance crew member doing inventory on cleaning supplies, but he was wearing a proper fleet ID badge, so she said hello and moved on. The little vehicle's onboard sensor suite had an audio component which continued beeping softly as she traveled from place to place. If those watching didn't know better, they would think she was a toy ambulance or truck of some kind, until they heard the beeping and the sing-songy humming. She sounded like a girl of about 5 dressing up her stuffed animals for a pretend tea party. What made Echo particularly dangerous to potential enemies was the fact she was patched into the Task Force command net and had the same authority as Commander Hunter to sound general alerts, activate the threat board, engage security protocols, and so forth.
The rest of the story is only one keyword away. Visit jumpline.click in your browser. New keywords are activated every day. Get access to our entire catalog of science fiction, fantasy, and gamelit.